All right, this is SSL Family Dad, and today we're talking all about feeding chickens. So this is the brooder, the older chick brooder, I guess. Once they're 2 to 3 weeks old, we bring them out here. And this is just a quick feeder that I put together for them. I'm actually sitting inside the brooder right now. You can see we're covered with wire. And I'll show you a picture for video from the outside here. I'm actually inside with the chicks right now. But the baby chicks are kind of all in here. There's a real big space for them. We can fit a lot of baby chicks in here. They've got the heat lamp down there, and down at this end they have the little feeder and the water. And I always hang the water, especially for the baby chicks, at a level that they can all reach, but not on the ground, so they can't scratch all the straw into it. And this feeder in particular is just made out of an old plastic little tote. Cut a few holes in the side of it, and they can reach up there and get their heads in and eat. And these guys are getting a commercial flock raiser type of crumble, the feed that's in here. This is a multi-flock type of food. It's good for ducks and for chickens. The ducks need some special feed. And the pipe just reaches to the outside of this little stall, so I can easily add feed for them without getting in here. It just drops right down into the thing. Some of it does end up falling down onto the little wooden step I made here, and that's fine because some of the smaller chicks, it's easier for them, I think, to get it off the ground, and they'll eat it all that way too. But you'd be surprised at how high they can reach up with their little necks. They're crazy little guys, but they'll very comfortable for them to reach in and eat out of this, and it makes less mess. This little step here, I'll remove that as they get bigger, so in another week or two they won't need that, and they'll be pretty close to be moving out of here at that point. Looks like someone else is interested in trying to get in here to this food. And you can see down at this end, they also are part of the whole barn automated watering system. They're not quite big enough to use the chicken drippers yet, and it is still cold enough for that to freeze. So I'll turn that on here in about a week or two, and they'll be able to drink off of these. The previous chicks that we raised in here did very well on that, and the same type of thing. I'll put a stool, some boards underneath here that they can step up on to reach that, and then as they get bigger I can remove it. But these things are the best way to water chickens. So from the outside, this is just a little half stall that they were using to store straw and things like that before, I think. We used it as a birthing stall for our goats also, and I've just kind of converted it into a brooder. So that bin, you can also see it's on a slope down, so as the feed goes in there, it'll naturally slide towards them so they can easily reach it. And it took them a few hours to find it. I use these trash cans for all of our feed, keep the raccoons and stuff out, and so we can just easily grab and feed these guys as we need to. This feed you can pour it in here real easily. So I do keep everything kind of spread out from the heat lamp, and these guys have a lot of room to run. You can see they like to really go. They'll fly around and run around, and I want to give them that space. They do not have to. I know, you know, especially when you first get baby chicks, you want to keep them under that heat lamp. You know, you want to keep them all warm and cozy, and they will regulate their own temperature, so they'll stay underneath the heat lamp when they need to get warm, and they have no problem walking around and doing their thing here. That's totally fine, as long as they have a place where they can get warm. Especially, you know, 3 weeks and up, they're totally fine to be kind of free ranging and have access to the light as they need it, the heat as they need it. You know, it's not much warmer in here than it is outside. It's about 33 or 34 degrees outside, and they do just fine. We're not even gonna talk about these guys. They are messy eaters. But luckily we just had a big ice storm and rainstorm, so they have a nice big puddle. So this is the Suburban coop, the homestead, small homestead coop. This is the original feeder that I built long ago, and it's just made out of 4-inch drain tile, or it's like a PVC piping, and a couple 45s here and here, and then we have the fill point right here, and I just have cut open the tops of the pipe on the ends and put a cap on the end there. Probably could use another strap. It's sagging a little bit. It's been this way for years and worked just fine, so I've just kind of left it be. But this gives them access to feed right from the top there. As the food comes down the pipe, they kind of shake it and move all around, and it ends up shaking all the way out in the pipe and filling it up just fine. And so they all have access to it. This is a little bit small. I have more birds in here than I originally designed this for. It was designed to feed six birds. 2 or 3 can eat on each side at a time. We actually have 9 out here right now, so they kind of fight for space on it. They were actually out of food this morning, so they're all normally not eating all at the same time. But this feeder has worked great, is very inexpensive, and probably the best design that I can recommend. It did require a little upfront cost of buying the pipe and stuff, but it was probably like maybe, I don't know, $15. So maybe 20 bucks with the strapping and screws and things like that that I have mounted it with. But it really does work really well. So this one just has a cap on the outside. This is 4-inch pipe, and I'll try to do this without getting in your way of the camera here. But this will hold quite a few scoops of food, and this way they don't have to be fed every single day. You can come out and just add feed to this as needed. And shake it down a little bit. It keeps them fed, these guys here, for about 3 days on one full fill. And especially in the summertime when they have access to this will all grow up, and they'll be able to, you know, scratch and get a lot of bugs and worms and grasses and different things that will grow in here. And this will then last them for about a week, a full week on just one fill for this amount of birds. So, all right. So for the main flock of chickens here, these are our biggest layers. I just went to the feed store and got some feed, so I'll show you the mix here. This is all local feed. It's not a organic feed. It's probably not a GMO-free feed. This is just what our local farmers produce. These guys are not. This is not meant to be an organic, all organic flock. And we may move to that at some point, but that's not where we're at with these guys right now. So this feed is just kind of a ground feed. The mill locally produces this, and they do their own mix. It's an 18% protein, and it has some limestone in it. It has soy, I think, and a few other protein grains. I think there's some sunflower in here, and a few other plant proteins. They also add some minerals and things like that to it, so it's supposed to be a good kind of chicken mix that they make. I have noticed that sometimes we get a little bit thin on our eggshells, and so I'm going to try this. This is a calcium supplement. It's like an oyster shell or something like that, and so I'm going to add this into their mix here a little bit also. And this stuff is real thick. It works kind of like a grit also. I have never given my chickens any grit. In 5 or 6 years, we've never done grit. If you're feeding them crushed feeds, you don't need to give them any grit. If they have access to a place where they can scratch, they're going to get all kinds of dirt and stone particles in their gut anyway, and that'll help them process any larger things that they eat, like these larger pieces of corn and stuff. I'm just gonna dump some of this in, just kind of layer it into their food. We will actually be doing our own mix of feed here on the farm eventually, and get a cement mixer and just do our own kind of mix. But for now, the local mill is our best local source of food for the chickens, and it's worked out really well. It's also only $8 a bag, so it's a pretty good price. So in here we have a little different feeder, and this is the wild coop. This is kind of the misfits that have been given to us, and a lot of older birds and things, but they kind of stay in here. This was a stall in the barn that we converted into a chicken coop. They have a little access in and out of the pasture there, mostly straw for bedding. So this feeder was just something I threw together a couple weeks ago, and it's actually been working really well. And basically it's just more of the same piping. I had some extra laying around, and it's just tied to the wall. And this is just used to store extra feed. You don't need these. If you just want to come in with a scoop and put it right in the bin that's just mounted to the wall, that's fine. But you could actually, if I had 2 or 3 more of these pipes, you could put probably 50-60 pounds of feed in this thing, and it would allow them to have access to feed all the time without you having to fill it every day. The idea with chickens is that they really should always have access to food. They don't eat too much. They eat what they need, and so there's really no need to ever ration their food or feed them daily or anything like that. They should just have free, open access to the feed, especially when they're laying eggs. You want to make sure that they have all the calcium that they need, and especially high protein feed, so that they can continue to produce good eggs for you, which is the idea. Now, these aren't meat birds or anything like that, but they do lay eggs for us. So the bottom here of the bin, you can see that it's not very deep. This is the bottom of it right here. There's just a small gap at the bottom of the pipes, and I've cut some little notches in here where the feed will just kind of come out as they peck it away from the bottom. And they peck it all around with their beaks and stuff, and they actually spread it out in there. So we have about 40 chickens in here that will eat off this. This is a little small for them, but there's about 12 chickens eating in it right now at a time, and they're a little cramped, but again, they don't normally all eat at once. They happen to be out of feed this morning, so I just got feed for them, so they're all eating at the same time today. But I have seen that they do like to perch up on the edge of it sometimes, which isn't really ideal because you don't want them walking around in there. I probably could have made this a little narrower so they couldn't get in it. It would have been nicer because they'll mess in it and stuff, but this works pretty good. So all this is just a small box. I actually had this wood laying around, and so I knocked this together last week, but been working very, very well. Now, if you're not mixing the feed like I was, you can just come in here with a fresh 40-50 pound bag and just dump it right in here. Whatever spills out of the sides just falls right down into the bin anyway that they'll eat out of. And so this works really well. Like I said, if I would have pipes all the way along here, or you could build this whole thing out of wood, just build a box that goes all the way along here, that goes all the way down to the bottom, and then it has holes or something in the front of it, or just has a gap off the bottom. And then you could just fill the whole bin with it and have a lid on it or something. So the same type of gravity feed design, very easy. You can do out of scrap wood or whatever you need. You don't need to go out and buy trash cans and PVC pipes and all kinds of stuff. Just use whatever you have. I happen to have these on hand, so I'm using these. And I could have just as easily used some scrap wood that I have laying around here also. So as far as the height of the feeder goes, it really just depends on the birds that you have, how big they are, and all that good stuff. But generally you want them, this could actually be higher. You can see how these guys are kind of reaching in over, you know, with their necks. The higher it is, the cleaner it's going to stay, because they'll get in here and they'll scratch and kick this straw around, and they'll end up getting it in there, and I'll have to clean that out probably every once in a while. But for the most part, you know, it's about probably 8 inches off the ground to the bottom of it here, probably closer to 10 to 12 inches off the ground to the top of the edge. And so that allows them, you want them to kind of reach into it to eat. You don't want it to be too uncomfortable where they want to fly up on it, but you do want them to, you don't want it real low on the ground because they'll make a mess out of it. Winter just will not end for us here, unfortunately, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the feeders. I have experimented with lots of different ways to feed chickens, and of course we've bought the regular commercial TSC or Family Farm and Home versions of chicken feeders and use those as well, and those are fine. But once you get into larger production and once you have your own kind of custom areas for chickens and things like that, it's nice to have a feeder that really works for you. No situation is the same. Now, if you have built the suburban chicken coop from our plans, the free plans we have on our website, and that particular feeder is designed kind of just to fit with that coop. It works really well, and like I said, I've had it for however long I've had that coop. I think it's been 4 or 5 years now that we've had that coop, so it just has worked great, and I've really had no issues with it and have not had to do anything with it. The larger production coop that we have here, I'll probably tweak that and probably, you know, do different things and try different things with that still. I do like the little box feeder with those pipes though, and like I said, if I could just fill it from outside the coop, it'd be even better, but working well as it is. So we're excited to have the new baby chicks here, and I can't wait for those guys to grow up. Of course, as you all know, the ultimate way to feed a chicken is not feeding it at all. It's giving it the area and the grass and the pasture and the forest to roam and scratch and find their own food. And that is really the main, you know, future goals for our operation here, is to have larger coops that are out in the pastures that allow the chickens to get the majority of their food through free ranging and natural scratching, which is the absolute best way to feed a chicken. Letting them choose and find their own food. It keeps them active, and it allows them to get the healthiest foods from the earth, and that's the way it should be. So while we have chickens here in the coop and in the smaller pastures, we do have to still feed them quite a bit of store-bought feed, unfortunately, and so having good feeders is important to do. So hopefully it helped you out, gave you some ideas if you're looking at getting chickens or have chickens and you're looking at building new feeders for them. If you guys have questions or comments, please let us know. Throw stuff down below. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. I'll put links to all that stuff in the description, as well as check us out on our website, sslfamilyfarm.com. As always, thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.